We've gathered our top 8 CD rates for you this month, and some of them were so attractive, they even surprised us. Hello, members, super savers, and bond course fans. I hope you're healthy and well. Given the current market volatility and uncertainty, it seems some of you just want to park your cash in FDIC and NCUA insured CDs these days. So, with that in mind, here are the 3 topics that we'll be covering in today's video. 1. What are the top rates for CDs that you can open online with minimal restrictions? 2. What are the top CD rates at credit unions that have specific conditions and requirements? This may be of particular interest for those of you in our community who live in California, North Carolina, and Texas. The CD rates here are higher than in this first section, but that's to be expected when there are more strings attached. And 3. What else should you consider before parking your cash in a CD? We have 8 different options for you today, so hopefully one of them will fit your individual circumstances, goals, and expectations. All of the CDs that I'm presenting in this video are FDIC or NCUA insured to the best of our knowledge. As usual, here's our front of video disclaimer. For a detailed disclaimer, please refer to the end of this video. Let's dive in now, folks. What are the top rates for CDs that you can open online with minimal restrictions? First on our list is Eagle Bank. Many thanks again to David M. for sending this our way so that we could share with all of our Diamond NestEgg regulars. Eagle Bank was founded in 1998 and is headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland. They're currently offering a 12-month CD at 4.55% APY. As you can see here, the 4.55% APY assumes interest remains on deposit until maturity date. There's a minimum deposit of $1,000 up to a maximum deposit of $500,000. Remember that the standard FDIC coverage is up to $250,000 per depositor, per FDIC insured bank, per ownership category. There is an early withdrawal penalty, as with all the other CDs that we'll be covering in today's video. Plus, you may add a joint owner after your application is approved. And if you want to keep your cash all in one place, the current 4.4% APY on their high yield savings account is also relatively competitive, with similar minimum and maximum deposit amounts to its CDs. Here's what the rates look like for some of Eagle Bank's other CD terms, most of which can be opened online. To open a 30-month, 36-month, 48-month, or 60-month CD, however, you will need to visit or call. Eagle Bank has branch locations throughout DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And as a point of reference, the APYs on Eagle Bank's 36, 48, and 60-month CDs are the best amongst the banks and credit unions we're discussing today, and also a bit better than where similar maturity treasuries are right now, before considering taxes, which we'll talk more about later on. Moving on now to the second top CD rate for this section of our video. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is still offering its special promotional CD term, a 14-month high-yield CD at 4.4% APY. The promotional term expires on May 28, 2025, and there is a $500 minimum balance. The third top CD rate for this section of our video is Synchrony Bank. Both Marcus and Synchrony are leading online financial institutions. Synchrony has a 13-month CD at 4.25% with no minimum deposit. The fourth top CD rate for this section of our video is from Merchants Bank of Indiana, and this one is a bit different, and that's why it didn't make the very top of the list despite its attractive headline rate. It's a 12-month Flex Index CD that currently stands at a 4.86% APY. There's a minimum balance to open the CD of $1,000, and you must maintain a minimum balance of $1,000 every day to earn the APY. The interest rate is based on a prime rate index minus a margin of 2.75% with a floor of 0% and can change at any time based on changes in the index, meaning the APY can go up if the Fed raises rates, or the APY can go down if the Fed lowers rates. Think of this Flex Index CD almost like a short-term floating rate bond, whose interest rate also fluctuates based on market conditions, with the difference being that you don't have to sell your CD on the secondary market if you want to cash out before maturity, like you would with a floating rate bond. Instead, you just redeem your CD with Merchants Bank of Indiana and pay the applicable early withdrawal penalty. And for those of you who are willing to take on a bit more risk for a bit more return to build out your bond portfolio while rates are still at good levels, our May bond course sale is running through May 31st. Use coupon code BONDS2025 to get an additional 10% off of our popular bond course bundle before the end of the month. The 10% coupon code BONDS2025 can also be used to purchase bond beginners or bond masters individually. But back to CDs for now. With the exception of the longer dated CDs from Eagle Bank, all the other CDs that we've talked about so far can generally be opened online with minimal restrictions, bringing us nicely to the next section of today's video. What are the top CD rates at credit unions that have specific conditions and requirements? First on the list here is a credit union that we've talked about before on this channel. California Coast Credit Union, founded in 1929, is the longest-serving financial institution in San Diego, California, where it is also headquartered. Cal Coast Credit Union is continuing to offer its 5-month term celebration certificate at 9.5% APY, almost twice as much as the other top rates that we're sharing with you today, meaning yes, as we expect, there are some quite stringent strings attached, if you can say it that way. You need to be a member of the credit union, of course. Plus, there's also a minimum deposit of $500 of new money, capped at a maximum opening deposit of $3,000. If you have more than $3,000 in savings, you can open this 5-month term Take 5 certificate at a still attractive 5% APY with some of that extra money. There is also a minimum deposit of $500 for this Take 5 certificate, capped at a maximum opening deposit of $5,000, meaning you could have up to $3,000 in this celebration certificate, earning 9.5% APY, and up to $5,000 in the Take 5 certificate, earning 5% APY. To become a member of Cal Coast Credit Union, you will have to live or work in San Diego, Riverside, Orange, Los Angeles, Ventura, or San Bernardino counties, pay a one-time $5 membership fee, and open a savings account with them. Second on the list is Financial Partners Credit Union. Founded in 1937, it has branches across California. New members can take advantage of this promotional 8-month certificate at a 6% APY. The minimum deposit is $1,000, capped at $5,000. If you have savings above $5,000, you could also consider this Name Your Term certificate for a 7 or 13-month period with new money that you may be bringing into the credit union. The rate here is 4%, and there's also a minimum deposit of $1,000 with no cap from what we could see. To join the credit union, you need to live, work, or go to school in Los Angeles, Orange, Riverside, San Diego, the city of South San Francisco, or the city of Alameda, California. They also accept you if you're an employee or retiree of select employer groups. Plus, you need to deposit at least $25 in a savings account with the credit union. Third on the list is LGFCU, which we shared with some of you a few days ago. Founded in 1983, LGFCU is headquartered in Raleigh, North Carolina, and is offering an 18-month certificate at a 5.5% APY. There's a minimum deposit of $250. LGFCU serves North Carolina's local government employees and volunteers, elected and appointed officials, and their families. And fun fact, LGFCU stands for Local Government Federal Credit Union, which is quite a mouthful, as they seem to think themselves. So in June 2025, in about 3 weeks from the time of this taping, they'll rename and rebrand as the shorter and hopefully punchier Civic Credit Union. In any case, I've linked this page in the first pinned comment below if you need more detail, along with the details for all the other banks and credit unions we've covered so far. Fourth on the list is 5 Point Credit Union. Founded in 1935, it is headquartered in Nederland, Texas, with a minimum deposit of $99,000 or higher. You can get a 12-month CD at a 4.76% APY. To become a member of 5 Point Credit Union, you need to live, work, worship, or attend school in any of these counties here in Texas. So, now that we've covered the top CD rates for this month, Let's move on to the next section of today's video. What else should you consider before parking your cash in a CD? First, if you live in a high income tax state, it may make sense to compare the CD rates you're considering with T-bill rates because interest earned on CDs is fully taxable, whereas interest earned on T-bills is only taxable at the federal level, but exempt from taxes at state and local levels. Again, as a point of reference, here's where Treasuries stand at the current time. Second, all rates we've talked about in this video are as of the time of this taping and subject to change. So if you do decide to move ahead with any of the financial institutions that we've discussed today, please do refer to the links in the first pinned comment below for the most current details on rates, minimum balances, fees, early withdrawal penalties, and so on. Third, we don't have any affiliation with any of the financial institutions we talked about today. If you do have an account or other relationship with one of them, drop a comment below and let us know what your experience has been like, both good and not so good, so that our Diamond Nest Egg regulars know what to look out for. Also, leave a comment below if you have any great offers that we haven't covered today. All right, members, super savers, and Bond Course fans, so I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. And if you watch the CD video to the end, but bonds are actually more your cup of tea, then check out this video here on our bond courses. Use coupon code BONDS2025 to get an additional 10% off of a popular bond course bundle before the end of May. The 10% coupon code BONDS2025 can also be used to purchase Bond Beginners or Bond Masters individually. I've linked all the details on our bond courses and YouTube Super Saver membership below this video for your convenience. See you again very soon with more brand new wealth building content for your financial journey.